Don't tell me this is what it looks like.
It's escargot.
Oh, it's what it looks like. Snails?
Escargot.
Slimy thing by any other name.
They taste like garlic and butter.
Don't say they. Food should not have pronouns.
Give it a try.
Yeah, but if I do, and we're having roadkill for the main course, then I will already have used up my allotment of gross-out food for the day, so I'll abstain.
I guess we should strike escargot off the list of Friday night dinner foods.
Sweetie loved escargot. That's funny how you remember those things.
Sweetie? Sweetie who?
Sweetie Nelson, one of my oldest friends, she passed away yesterday.
Oh, I'm sorry, Grandma. Yeah, I've heard you mention her. Was she sick?
She'd been ill for some time, but still...
The family is pretty overwhelmed.
By the way, Davis called late today. The funeral's going to be Sunday.
Was that her real name, Sweetie?
No, her name was Melinda. Sweetie was a nickname.
Why?
What do you mean, why?
I mean, how'd they get Sweetie from Melinda?
They didn't get Sweetie from Melinda. Sweetie is a nickname.
Yes, I know Sweetie was a nickname, but usually a nickname comes from a version of your name, or there's a story behind the name or something.
She was sweet. That's the story.
Okay.
She had a very sweet nature. Well, what kind of story did you want, Lorelai?
No, that's fine. She was sweet. They called her Sweetie. It's a good story.
No, really, exactly what kind of story about my recently departed friend would amuse you?
No, it's not to amuse me. It's...
All right, fine. Sweetie's father was a very poor man. So poor that Sweetie and her 4 siblings all had to sleep in a hollowed-out tree trunk because the house was only big enough for their parents. One winter there was no food, so Sweetie crawled out of her trunk, wrapped her feet in newspaper, and walked 40 miles in the snow to the nearest town where she stumbled into a candy store. The owner took pity on her and gave her bags of candy, a dill pickle, and drove her back to her family. He promptly offered a job to her father, who gladly accepted and eventually owned that store and turned it into one of the most important candy emporiums in the world. And that is how she got the name Sweetie. There, how was that?
Now that was a pretty good story.
I'm sorry, Emily, did you say the funeral is Sunday?
Yes. Is that a problem?
Well, Mr. Hamoto is in town, and Jason has set up golf for him, and then there's lunch after that. What time is the service?
Noon.
Oh, noon. That's cutting it very close. How important is it for me to be at the funeral?
Not important at all.
Well, fine then. Be sure to give them my condolences.
Of course. Eat your food.
Oh my, I think one of them's still alive.
Lorelai.
No, seriously, he was over near the radish like 5 minutes ago.